The Prinzessin der Vertalang is one of the strongest units in the game. A couple months back, I made a video about just how broken Fischl is. However, even then, that was underselling her value to a certain degree. As time has passed, the more it has become apparent, Fischl is the linchpin of which most teams function, even if it is not apparent from just the surface. She belongs up there, right along the sides of Xingqiu, Sucrose, and Xiangling. And no, Bennett isn't there because he's in a league of his own. Today, we'll be revisiting Fischl and why she is actually one of the best units in Genshin Impact. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTube. It's your Slime King, the G-Man, and welcome to another video. What makes Fischl so good is her ability to fill a flex slot for literally any team. However, it just does not stop there. Fischl also has superb single target with not only Oz, but with her A4 Ascension passive, and possibly, if you have it, her C6. You combine this with literally the best Electro application in the game, and you will find her just average. This is a surface level assumption that most people have when they see and use Fischl's kit. However, there is more to it, and for that, we need to dive deeper into her Imanaktrike. This all stems from the notion that Electro is not a good element to begin with, and once you believe in that notion, then things trend south very quickly. You see, one of the best strengths of Fischl is her best-in-class application of Electro. But if you think Electro is bad, then why would applying more of the bad stuff be good? Well, here's the thing. Applying Electro and a lot of application of that is very valuable. Look at all the soup teams, all the Electro charged teams, and you will see one vital cog in all their equations. Fischl is always the best option as the Electro unit. Why is this important? Because Fischl is the only unit that can apply a constant aura of Electro on the enemy. Oz applies 1 unit of Electro every 4 hits or every 5 seconds. Her A4 Ascension applies 1 unit of Electro whenever you trigger an Electro reaction, and her C6 applies 1 unit of Electro that shares the same ICD as Oz's application. This means that you can apply Electro faster and more often. This is valuable because you want to maximize the uptime of Electro charge on an enemy so you can double swirl or vape and overload. The problem with other Electro applicators is made apparent by understanding the Electro charge reaction itself. Now this can get finicky depending on whether you are using strong or weak versions of Electro or Hydro, but for simplicity's sake, I will put it like this. Whenever a trigger is applied to an aura, Electro charged happens. And this takes off a gauge from both Hydro and Electro. And when this happens, it reduces both of those elements' duration. If you do not have enough Electro or Hydro on an enemy, eventually, only the higher amount of elemental application will exist. And since there are a lot more Hydro applicators that are the aura, more often than not, Electro charged will fade, leaving only a Hydro aura on the enemy. And EC only happens again on the next instance of Electro application, thereby diminishing the possible damage potential of teams. Yaimiko, Beidou, and Raiden only have one way of applying Electro, and it is locked by standard ICD. So unless you swirl it into Kazuha's, Sucrose's, or Venti's burst, Electro charged will not be consistent. This is where Fischl showcases the breadth of her value. With each new passing Electro unit released, her value only continues to increase more, as the newer Electro units just do not have the same Electro application she does. You can bypass this by using 2 Electro units, such as in most Taser teams of course, but even then, in those teams, Fischl is still used as her Electro energy generation is unparalleled, only furthering to strengthen her argument as one of the best units in Genshin Impact. In a sense, her value as the best off-field Electro applicator can be best compared to Xingqiu. Xingqiu has overwhelming Hydro application, especially with C6. He was almost irreplaceable until Yelan came out, and even then, he is still best in slot for vape teams, and you ended up just running them both together anyway. Xingqiu has utility and damage reduction in heals, which puts him over the top with one of the best kits in the game. But Fischl can also run Tenacity, run Elegy, and her utility suddenly spikes up, and if people think Xingqiu is one of the best units in the game, then there is an argument to be made that Fischl belongs there too. At the end of the day, this is all caused by the singular notion that Electro and his reactions are just bad. Too much has indeed been placed on the value of vape and melt that everything oftentimes gets swept to the wayside. But in fact, just like how Hydro is integral to vape teams, without Electro, Taser, and Soup teams almost cease to function. In the future, Electro will only continue to be empowered, especially by the new Dendro reactions, and Fischl will once again be the spearhead for that revolution. It's best to realize her value as a unit now, and what makes her so great, so that you too can incorporate her into teams just as effectively. Tell me what you think down in the comments below about Fischl and Electro, or better yet, come at me over at twitch.tv/JimmyMan, where I stream Genshin almost every day. Come join the Slime Kingdom Discord, where I feed you slime content every day. This is our parting farewell.